Hi, everyone. Well, do put your name in the chat and maybe just say which country you're from, because if we get a good spread of people, we might do a little energetic exercise. Hi, Stacey. Stacey from California. Alive Thrive from Florida. Hi. Charlotte. Charlotte is from New Zealand. I know. I am too. It's this. That's why I want people to put their name in the chat, because I am feeling that this is a really opportune time for us to build the energy, and so it would be something that we can do on a global level. So we've got 11 people who are here. You people who have just arrived, I'm hoping that if you want to be here anonymously, then that's absolutely fine. I get that. And maybe you can be anonymous in some way or not. But I really want people to just come into the chat if you're happy to. And hi, Jackie. Hi, Champion for the Cause. Where are you, Champion for the Cause? And Jackie, where are you? Hi, Jamie. Hi, Fiona. Oh, that's right. I should have remembered that, Jackie. Sorry. Hi, Leah. Hi, Lauren. Yeah, so Charlotte just said she's excited. Well, the energy is exciting, isn't it? So in the kitchen this morning, I, because I was up early and I'm like, I'm just feeling into this energy, and I felt that. Thank you, Champion for the Cause in Victoria. I felt all that excitement. I felt that excitement in terms of like butterflies in the stomach or the solar plexus. And I always remind myself what I used to say to my students, which is not my saying. I can't think what his name was, but this Australian author who wrote a book to do with learning. And I used to have this on the wall in my classroom. Don't worry about having butterflies in your stomach, just get them to fly in formation. So I was remembering that this morning. Hi, Helly Star from London. And yeah, just feeling all of this excitement and butterflies and this sort of stretching in the heart and tuning into the divine masculine. And honestly, that's what they're like, and they are really like in their zone, and this whole thing feels so close, these connections coming together or beginning to flow in together in some very strong kinetic action. Feels very strongly there. Hi, Anita. So yes, more and more into their truth. That's right. That's exactly right, Lauren. So I am, really, let's just do that for a moment. Let's just feel into the energy of the collective of the divine masculine. So you can do that by tuning into the collective or tuning into your own divine masculine. But you might want to put your feet on the ground, and you might want to do some nice deep breathing, and you might want to feel that energy in your heart and in your solar plexus, and feel it streaming, because there's this quite strong connection really with their heart and their throat, their heart, higher heart and throat. But also there's all this energy in the solar plexus. Now the solar plexus, that's where our inner child energy sits, and that's where our empowerment energy sits. And I believe the divine masculine are really coming into their own incredible power at the moment. And Lauren's just saying it's from this fiery Sagittarius energy. Yeah, maybe it is. But this is what they are feeling, and they are feeling, I believe, empowered and excited. So there's a lot that's been going on for them. And so, yeah, let's just take a few breaths and feel into the energy of that, their power, their love, this divine love that they're feeling, the divine feminine energy that's been coming through, and they are feeling that. Hi, Angel from Canada. Hi, Golden. And so just imagine that we are, thank you, I can feel that already. I'm heating up like there's a heater in here. Just feel the energy of that, this palpable love in our hearts that we can send out into the collective, send out into the world, send out into the divine feminine collective, and send out into the divine masculine collective. And receive it. Feel it in your own heart. And feel that filling you up. So these divine principles that have been coming through, these Venusian codes, that's what Gaia called them. She said that they are having this influence arriving on our earth, or at the beginning stages of arriving anyway. They're going to keep coming, that they have a very special significance for the twin collective, and a very special influence on the divine counterparts. So she is saying that they come in with these keys and codes, and we can talk a little bit more about that. Hi, Sarah from Vancouver Island in Canada. I wanted to say to you too, because I'm useless at remembering this, honestly. I wanted to say to you, would you please subscribe to the channel if you're not already? And if you have, would you please check that you have? Because I was doing an editing of a video a couple of nights ago, watching the subscription numbers just go down, 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 like someone was clicking them off all in a row in front of me. So yeah, just if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be great. So this energy that's coming in, it's catalyzing you and each pair. So each pair or set of divine counterparts, Gaia says it's catalyzing you to the next level of your spiral, your evolution, your journey regarding acknowledgement, communication, and connection. And she said that this energy is having this seal the deal kind of impact on the divine masculine's heart space. And that is how she put it, exactly those words. So we'll come back to a little bit more about that. But the 22 in numerology, it relates to peace. It relates to being the peacemaker. It's the often referred to as the builder number or the architect number. And it also links to cosmic energy coming in. So off planet energy coming into the earth. And I always see that it's about usually something new and unique. So it's a unique code or a unique program or a unique set of information that comes in through the 22 gateways to be grounded into the crystalline grid. And so this gateway is definitely about that. and the twins are syncing up more and coming into greater alignment with themselves, with one another, and with their connection and union. So the divine masculine. So I want to say to you that the divine masculines have had a different journey to us. So they have been working with the codes in the physical, whilst we've been working with codes in the ethereal energetic space. And we have been working with it over a longer period of time, and they are working with it in this very short, compacted, very accelerated period of time. So they're learning more at the moment about their energetic body, which is why I am telling you that this is close, because they are starting to figure out the messages and the information that they're receiving from their body, from their heart, from the feelings in their sensory body, and from their mind. So all of these messages and this information, they're beginning to take notice of it, they're beginning to cognize it, they're beginning to have a sensory experience of it. And they are noticing that their physical body is having some energetic impacts that they haven't necessarily noticed before, even though they have happened. So their higher heart, this is opening up. They are dropping into being able to recognize and feel and explore this truth, this authenticity, the blinders, the blinkers, the veils, anything that is inauthentic and not of truth, and in another way, energetically, not or of a lower frequency and vibration. In our world in general, we are in the dissipation of those. So they are coming into this higher heart, greater truth, greater authenticity, and opening this up further into their throat to be able to speak it. And all of this is influenced by these new codes from Venus, catalyzing higher love and all that arises out of that, along with this beginning part of these higher divine feminine principles. So, that's all of the energies that we work with about allowance and cooperation and co-creation and working together in teams where we're always looking for the highest outcome. It's all of that, creating this absolutely beautiful up-leveling for the divine masculine as their hearts are stretching and expanding, and they are realizing about this deep love. This is really coming to be right in front of them. They're also beginning to have this understanding of their role here, this divine connection that's held between them and their divine feminine. And so this is all, Guy was explaining, it's prompted by all of this realization about truth, about feeling, about love, about divine love, and how that is sitting in this higher place, and they're recognizing that there's greater purpose in this connection, that it's something beyond anything that they've ever considered before, but now it's right there in front of them. They're also recognizing that there's this very strong sort of pulling and magnetic energy, and they have come just recently to recognize that this is not you wanting to have, or the divine feminines wanting to have this power over the situation. So I want to tell you that there are many divine masculines who really believed that their divine feminines had cast a spell on them early on in the connection. And recently they felt that there was something else going on, that the divine feminines were invoking their power over them, pulling their system. And so what they are doing, which again is significant, so they're having these very significant shifts, is that they are awakening, and they are awakening more and more to the realization that this is divinely decreed, divinely assigned, that it's a divine connection and it's divinely timed. So they've sort of taken a step back, they're taking a higher look here, from this bigger and higher perspective, and giving it the recognition that they're really being asked to, this higher view and recognition. And so I was shown that many of them are exploring that now. So this newer, more empowered perspective. So they've shifted from the "what are you doing to me" to asking themselves, well, what is this really about? So the other question that I get that they've been asking is, why has this come to show itself as higher love, the greatest love I've ever experienced, and yet there's no real pressure coming from the divine feminine? So they are beginning to recognize the contrast between the way in which the divine feminine operates in comparison to the way in which other women in their life may have been operating. And so they're in a little bit of a pause at the moment, but it's not a stop. It's a pause. It's a contemplative pause. They're like in the middle of the bridge between you and them, and between the 3D and the 5D. And you may be feeling them energetically closer to you, more strongly back in your field, hearing their thoughts, having telepathic conversations, or hearing them in an audio way. And I really got the energy of them being like the expectant father, as they're making sense of this connection now. And also they are really growing and developing in their psychic gifts, so many of them developing clairaudience and telepathy. So this is all increasing for them, just as it has been for the divine feminine. So in general, it's likely that they have complementary or the same gifts as you, but gifts that can work together to be able to speak and communicate, or energetically communicate with one another. Welcome to Fit for You and Tina from Australia and from the Taranaki. So yeah, this day, this 22nd of November, it brings in this deluge of energies that will affect many of the divine masculines I was being shown, like a tropical downpour, saturating their cells and their energy fields with Venusian love codes. And this, says Gaia, is likely to be the energy that seals the deal. They are going to be just like totally soaked in this love energy, and recognizing that it relates to you, but that it's not from your imposition. So it's like it's dissolving the false. It's empowering them to be looking clearly at who they are. This receipt of the divine feminine code. So they're softer and they're more in their hearts, and they've recognized this difference, this contrast between their divine feminine and other feminines that they've been in connection or relationship with, where the connection or the relationship is more transactional than unconditional, where there's more demand, where there's more old ways of operating in give and take rather than just unconditionally giving and loving. And they're beginning to see very transparently those sorts of contrasts. Divine feminines are showing up as in deep soul knowing and authentic truth in divine alignment to a higher frequency, quite a lot higher frequency at the moment. And you are asked to please hold peace and love in your heart in recognition that you are steadily holding space for your partner's arrival, and hold it as though they are arriving today. Hold it in present moment. So that's one part of your work. The other part of your work is to get into or to stay on mission, to move aside. If you've got, and I want to say stuck, if you've got stuck in the putting life on hold, then get out of that and you just hold space and allowance for their imminent arrival, knowing that it's coming in perfect divine timing, that God or the Creator has got this, that these keys and codes for ascension, they directly link in and relate strongly to twins and divine counterparts because of the bigger picture view of why they've come. So why these connections have come to the earth. And if you haven't watched the video about twins that's on my channel, I'll put a link in underneath, but that gives more detail about what I'm just going to say here now, which is that Gaia showed me that twins come into both undo and redo relationship paradigms. So each pair has a particular angle, nuance of undoing in relationships. That's why there's this stretch, this contrast, this polarity between them, because they break down the polarity to come into unity. So twins come with these extreme differences, these extreme contrasts to break down the old paradigms of relationship. And they can be in a whole host of ways. It can be to do with culture, religion, it can be to do with money and transaction. And it's all about the undoing of that so that our world can step more into unconditional love. And that what happens is that each twin undoes that in their own right, or each counterpart undoes that in their own right, in their own individuation, in their own family, in their own community, in their own culture, religion, whatever the aspect is. That is the work for that set of counterparts. And then when each of them has undone that enough in their own right, come into their own sovereignty, their own alignment, their own balance, masculine and feminine, then they come together and they undo it in the partnership way. And then there are groups or clusters of twins who are working on different aspects of the same thing. And Gaia describes that as sets of wheels or 12 spokes, and each wheel relates to an undoing of a particular perspective on something to do with relationships, and then they click into a series of wheels that have some kind of order. I think maybe the first, I can't remember exactly, but the last in each wheel is locks that in place, so that's a fixed position. And then the wheels get stacked, and then that all gets locked in, and it creates a whole new template, a whole new toroidal field to do with that particular angle of relationships. So I'll post that when we've finished, and you can have a look if you haven't already. So it's a very comprehensive overview of what twins are here to do from the perspective of Gaia. And there's been a lot of sort of dilly-dallying, intrusion, nonsense in my view, that people have been saying how this doesn't exist, that this is a psyop, that this is just a nonsense. And I want to tell you categorically that that is not true, that this is a divinely orchestrated, divinely led, divinely guided contract that you made from your soul with your divine counterpart for humanity, for the world, as a covenant with God, as far as I'm concerned. And that's how I see it, that's how I'm showing it, and certainly my experience of how I came across it fits with that. I did not go looking for it, seeking it, and I knew very little about it. So these steps that each of us take, it's just good to do a little reflection at this time. You know, are you in balance? Are you in your own sovereignty? Are you in your own empowerment? Have you done your inner union with your masculine and feminine? So we have to do that in our own sovereignty first, within our own being, and then we do that in partnership. And you know, God certainly speaks about these are designed to come together, and I always get shown that, you know, there's a lot of push from some other areas, but there's a lot of push from divine, from creator, to get these to come in, because what happens when they come in is that the love is this incredible higher unconditional love that when partners come together, it creates this ripple of love that moves out across the planet and moves humanity into ascension. So you must be, I'm sure that, I want to know, but I'm sure that most of you, many of you are feeling this excitement. It's really palpable at the moment. You can probably almost feel it as though they're next to you, touching you. But you know, we're on the edges of ascension, and these come as part of the catalyst for ascension, these connections, these unions. And you know, there are a number of ways of looking at what union entails, but energetically they come together to create this ripple of love that Gaia says. First of all, it ripples out kilometers and kilometers, and then they overlap, and it just helps tip humanity into ascension. And we are on the edges of ascension. We had an ascension wave that came through on the 11th of the 11th. Remember, that was the awakening ascension wave. And then today, this is an up leveling of an ascension wave, and we will be moved through it, like moved up the spiral. So we're being purified, and we're being detoxed, and we are coming into our alignment and higher frequency, and more gifts and more DNA activations, and more perhaps memories from past lives, and the multidimensional aspects coming in, this coming into the physical, this coming into our higher multidimensional physical anchoring here on the earth. And then we come into these unions to create this higher frequency to ripple across and shift humanity through the gateway, through the illuminated gateway, into a fifth dimensional level, into a fifth dimensional ascension dimension space. And so we're on the edges of all of this. We're on the edges of it coming into the 0 point. We're on the edges of the sort of the soft reveal, the soft disclosure, this idea. You know, God showed me very strongly that we would have ascension before disclosure, because of the impact it would have on humanity. And so we've got a little bit of soft disclosure, so people are being gently prepared as we are preparing for these huge energetic waves of love. And yeah, it's just one little bit at a time, and our role is to be holding it steady in our own field and holding space for our divine partner to come into that as they are doing what they need to do, which is coming into their own recognition, coming up and rising into their own power as we as we have really done over this past little while, and they're coming in to that now. Remember, they do it from the physical perspective. We have been doing it from the energetic perspective, and we're kind of landing to meet in the middle now. Yeah. So there is this total and absolute feeling of excitement in the heart and in the body, and greater gifts of the psychic abilities and qualities that enable greater communication and other things being moved out of the way. So the lower dimensional frequencies that have interfered with higher dimensional love being on the planet are being cleared out. They're not all completely cleared out, but they are well on their way out. Gaia has always said that fourth dimensional, let me rephrase that there are aspects of beings on our earth that cannot move beyond the fourth dimension. So as we topple into the fifth dimension, that has an effect of that on the world as well. All right, so let me see. Hi, Sally. Hi, Breathe and Relax from Perth. Champion for the cause. Can't stop seeing 111, 11, 11, 144, and 1144. Yeah, well, those are really good twin numbers, aren't they? Along with the 2222. And also you may have been seeing, some people may have been seeing a lot of 8 numbers, and some twins see the 7 number. So the 8 is all about manifestation, the 7's about miracles and magic. The 11 is about, I guess, this individual and the illuminated gateways. And the 4 and the 44 is, some people would say that all links into the 144,000. And also the 4 and the 44 is about foundations. And this is one of the aspects of the work that twins are doing, laying in the new foundations for relationships in our world. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for A, showing up to yourself, and B, showing up here, and C, taking on this role as a soul. It's big. It's required a lot of work. It's required a lot of healing. It's required a lot of doing it on your own, hasn't it? And so I really, send you so much love and appreciation for that. It's a powerful contribution to our world. It absolutely is. And we are in this place now. The whole way in which it's all pivotal and comes together fits with this little statement that Gaia made, that I made a meme of earlier, about how we are coming into freedom, we are coming into peace, and there is no turning back. So I wondered, what songs have you been hearing? Because I've heard a number of divine feminines who've been saying how they've been hearing songs. So maybe you might want to share in the chat the songs that you've been hearing as messages from your divine masculine or from the universe. Thank you, Charlotte. But yeah, so on the edges of it. Thank you, Lauren, for that feedback about the interference. Yeah, it's interesting what's been going on with technology and with interference, because we are tipping over. We're on it's like that, and we're tipping over. We're rolling the barrel down the hill, and yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be exciting. I think lots of us will, you know, get together. We'll meet up when we are in our unions. Right Down the Line by Jerry Rafferty. Nice. Heroes. Oh, yeah. Nice. Very nice. So, yeah, feel free if you've got any more, and I might make up a little bit of a playlist link. And if you've got any clues for me, I'm not kidding. I Googled how many seconds of a track that I could legally use without impinging on copyright. 13, I think 14 or 15 seconds. So I chose 13 seconds of a track and I put it at the beginning of a video and it got pinged for copyright. 13 seconds. So that's why I've been putting the links down below of these songs that have been coming up. And it kind of surprises in my head. Well, I guess it's not surprising considering the work that I do, but it blows me away that I hear these words of songs and the sound, and I don't actually know where the heck they come from. So I have to put it in and do a search on it. What does that mean, Jackie? Are you being humorous, or is that your DM, or are you? What does that mean? Do you need some support or something with that? Silence by Marshmallow. But I've been quiet for too long. Don't Look Down. Yeah, what's the movie Don't Look Up? Has anyone seen that? I haven't. Getting insights into an online course you're going to create. Good. Yes, good, Sally. 888, I think, is surprise incoming. Good. Yeah, the 88's definitely, or the 888's definitely. Well, to me, I guess I work with a little bit of numerology. That's like a big surprise, not a little surprise. It's like a world surprise, a bigger surprise. Yeah, so just keep an eye out with what comes in, what you hear, and what. Oh, it's a TF movie, is it? Okay, thank you. So what do you? Now, what was I going to just put to you? What are your gifts? What are your psychic gifts? Romantic country music. Who here, pop those in. Who's clairvoyant? Who's clairaudient? Who's telepathic? How do you get your communication from your divine masculine? Watch Upside Down, total TF movie. Okay, thank you. I've got to get better at going to the movies, but I find, that I go to a movie that I have kind of checked out and I think it will be okay. I think I'll be okay in there. And then I get in there and the shorts before the main movie have blown me apart before it even begins. And so now I try to not go in to watch the shorts. I don't know why you go in and watch some feel-good movie and there's violence and war and murder and bloodshed in the shorts beforehand. It makes total sense to me in terms of control and intrusion, but it makes no sense to me in terms of humanity and compassion. All right, so we've got clairsentient, claircognizant. After series is another. Is that television or movie? All of the C's, psychic, yes, tuning in and getting messages. Good. Yeah, excellent. So, who's getting messages like, yeah, I'm on my way, I'm close, don't worry, I'm just sorting it? Because that's what I get from the collective of the masculine. They know what they're doing. They are, this, I guess the thing I told you this probably 6 weeks ago, that I got very strongly that, they designed the plan, they knew what they were doing. Now they've come into this kind of greater recognition of it now, but their plan was a little bit in order and doing it so that it is for the highest good for everyone. Huge compassion. I'm moving. All right. Clairvoyance and clairaudience. Wonderful. Yeah, so this energy, it's exciting and love-filled and palpable, and they are just so close. And I just keep remembering, what God said about you wouldn't want him to come before he's ready to be taken out of the oven. And this is the space that we're in, those last little bits, because we don't want other people to be in anything other than their highest power either. So what they are exiting in terms of whatever component that is, work, relationships, families, commitments, we want to be in our highest alignment with wanting that to be for the highest outcome for everybody. All right, so much love to all of you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful divine beings. And there's something else I was going to say to you. Now, what was that? Oh, I haven't even finished my notes. The divine masculines I got earlier, tears. There are tears close to the surface, whilst you or the divine feminines are likely to be feeling it all. There's this huge kind of like energetic meshing. So divine feminines feeling what's going on for their divine masculine. So let me know if that's your experience. I get that collectively they are in a huge process, that they are in the aftershock of the dark night of the soul, in their awakening and trying to make sense of the world. So these are the kind of finishing off bits for them, and that crying might be this aspect of release for them. So trying to find relief and release in their frustration is they're seeing the truth. So they, in seeing the truth of who they are and what this is, some of them are perhaps having this experience of thinking, well, have I missed out on things here because I haven't been awake, I haven't been onto it? So some of them are being a little bit self-critical, giving themselves a bit of a hard time. I want to say that today collectively brings more awakening for all of them, and that all of us at the moment are really close to the skin, close to the surface in our emotions, because we're learning to be more or be in greater access of them. That today, landing clearly on this day, these 2211 rays, they are landing on and with the divine masculine as they come into greater balance with all of this. And they might be asking themselves things like why they didn't clearly see it all, why it took them so long to fathom it out, because they are really amazing problem solvers, solution finders. Most of the divine masculine, they're these incredible get things done. That's their strength, or one of their strengths. And oh yeah, last little bit. So I have been feeling the divine masculine moving from smiling to broad grinning, like the dawning of the magnificence of this, as though they are quietly singing, "Hello, is it me you're looking for?" Sorry, that was very badly sung. But anyway, hello, is it me you're looking for? It was still flat. I won't bother a third time. And yeah, so that is it finally at the end of my notes. All right. Thank you again. Where's my cursor disappeared to? Oh, here it is. All right, it's Monday here, so some of you rolling into Monday. And yeah, big things are happening in our world. Keep a lookout. It's all going to pop up. 533. I would, let me throw this at you. Changing to do with Christ consciousness or the crystalline codes, and maybe stabilizing them or bringing them into to groundedness. 633, bringing that into groundedness, security, stability, the Christed consciousness coming. Coming home. 633, let's call it that. The Christed consciousness coming home. And of course, there's all that, right? All that energy of coming home to self. We are coming home to ourself. The divine masculines are coming home to themselves, and then they are coming home to us. All right, many blessings, much love. You're welcome, Fiona. Bye, everyone.